Hi, I'm Dr. George Spilich, and if I could just have a moment of your time, I'd like to tell you about a textbook that I wrote for your students in courses such as behavioral neuroscience, neuroscience, biopsychology, as well as other related classes. A wise person once said that, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, but I do and I understand. Behavioral neuroscience makes the content come alive by weaving active learning assets throughout the text in a way that deepens your students' grasp of the material. Here are but a few examples. In this example of a try it out activity, students measure their own visual acuity by judging the direction of the gap in the Land-Alt-C task as the size of the stimulus decreases and the task becomes more difficult. They then consider the importance of visual acuity in everyday life. Here is what your students would see while performing the Land-Alt-C task. In a Check It Out activity, students view a brief video that is designed to enhance their understanding of chapter content. Critical thinking questions guide the student to consider the video content within the chapter's overall perspective. In this Check It Out, students see an interview with an individual who is a congenital anosmic, and then they consider what life without a sense of smell would be like. Here's a brief excerpt from this activity.
Meredith, you're an interesting person. You're an honor student. You're actually an honor graduate of the college. You're a varsity athlete. You've won a lot of awards. But there's something about you most people don't know, isn't there?
There is.
You're a congenital anosmic.
That I am.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I would say that it's hard to conceptualize. I would start off by saying, what is it like for someone who's congenitally deaf? And obviously, you don't put the inability to hear and the inability to smell on the same level. But thinking about it, I think is similar. To answer the question broadly, our world is different.
Yeah.
When you go out in the world and you can smell everything. I mean, there's this, there's that, you smell everything. I go out in the world and I can see this, I can see the trees, I can see the flowers, but I can't smell anything. So it's just not a factor. And so in that sense, it sets me apart. It affects me when someone says, what does that smell? What does that smell like? And I'm just like, I know.
No idea. I honestly have no idea.
In the Think About It activities, students are encouraged to explore a chapter concept in an unhurried fashion and to consider the personal and societal implications of what they are learning. In this example, students consider how sleep deficits can affect one's health and put one at risk for accidents. These and other questions help your students to connect with the chapter content in a way that leads to better retention. Material that is covered on the MCAT is clearly identified in each chapter. This feature will be valuable to students preparing for a career in health-related fields. Here are but a few examples. Accrediting agencies expect academic programs to develop analytical thinking skills, and this text provides you, the instructor, with the resources to engage students in data analysis at a level commensurate with their statistical preparation. Students can interpret a simple graph, evaluate an ANOVA table, or you can assign a raw data file to your students and have them select the appropriate statistical test, perform the analysis, interpret the results, and write a summary in a professional manner. This is a unique feature of this text. Finally, where appropriate, ethical consideration of topics in behavioral neuroscience are raised so your students can see how science is relevant to their lives. My goal in writing this textbook was to create a text that would intellectually engage your students in a way that would lead to better student outcomes as well as higher student satisfaction. Thank you for the gift of your time.